Hi, I'm Chris Castillo of the Washington Bureau of the Oklahoman. The U.S. House soon could be taking up an extremely complex and far-reaching bill aimed at reducing greenhouse gases and, in theory, global warming. Most members of the House haven't had time to read the 1,000-page bill, and reading it might not mean understanding it. The bill would put limits, or caps, on the amount of carbon that can be emitted. Companies would get permits for emissions, and those that don't need them because they're under their allowed amount can trade or sell them to companies that are having trouble meeting the emissions caps. There is a lot of debate about whether the system, this cap-and-trade system, is the best way to reduce carbon emissions, but there is no debate about this. It will drive up energy costs of all kinds for everybody. Oklahoma Congressman Frank Lucas, whose huge district in the western part of the state includes thousands of farmers, is worried about the impact the bill will have on farmers and ranchers. Lucas, a rancher himself, is the top Republican on the House Agriculture Committee.
Well, the goal of Speaker Pelosi and Chairman Waxman's bill, Chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, is to dramatically reduce global greenhouse gases. They go about that by increasing taxes on all forms of energy. And agriculture is a very energy-intense business, whether it's the diesel for the tractors to put the crops in the ground, the energy to make the seeds, prepare the seeds I should say, to produce the fertilizers, the petrochemicals, the energy required in the form of diesel to harvest, to transport, to process, to put it in the grocery store shelf, to keep it cool and safe and fresh for consumers. We're energy intensive, so if you dramatically increase the cost of farming and ranching, and farmers and ranchers are price takers, not price makers, we'll bear the blunt of that. And ultimately, the consumers will pay higher prices just as farmers' incomes go down also.
Some who have championed the production of ethanol and other fuels made from crops are worried that those fuels may be regulated out of existence because of a concept called indirect land use. Under that concept, the use of land to grow corn or switchgrass for fuel will lead more land elsewhere to be used to grow crops.
It's a very important issue, the future of ethanol and biodiesel. Renewable energy from agriculture is a part of meeting America's energy needs. Chairman Peterson's from a state that has a tremendous amount of production. There are concerns in the way this bill is crafted and the statements made by the Environmental Protection Agency about land use and how you factor all of those qualities in. If something doesn't change, this may well bring an end to renewable ethanol and biodiesel in America. But it's not just ag energy. It also discourages the consumption and production of all forms of energy. That hits home at oil and gas in Oklahoma too. So this bill is not good for us in the form it's drafted right now.
At a hearing of the House Agriculture Committee, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack said the nation has to do something about climate change. Ultimately, he said, the world must move from an economy that generates significant pollution and waste to one based on clean energy and new technologies. He acknowledged that farmers and ranchers are concerned about how the bill is going to affect them. But he said there are significant opportunities for them to reduce their dependence on fossil fuels. He said farmers are going to have to change the way they operate, from the way they till the land to the way they control animal manure. Members from both parties who represent farming districts, including the chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, Congressman Collin Peterson of Minnesota, are wary of this complex bill. You can expect the concerns of rural lawmakers to play a big role in the upcoming debate on global warming legislation.